is a process of bringing harmony into the home, number one, and into the family. So it is working at the physical level, emotional, mental, spiritual, and of course includes the energetic aspect. You may want to try this even as a preliminary. Do the flowchart and then find out where your blockages are, find out what your heart center looks like. In the early 90s, having worked with healing for many years, healing on the body, and before that, as an architect, working with homes and with land, I began to realize that I would work on people, they would go back into their homes, that they would come back for the next time, and I would see that something was negated from what I did. And I began to realize that you cannot just work with a person separate from their environment, that the environment is an important extension of themselves. The home, in a sense, is like another garment which reflects our whole history, all the stuff that we've gone through from childhood, in fact, from the womb. The moment we move in to that space, we bring our whole history. So there's this direct relationship between home and occupant. That is a reflection of, in fact, the whole family's history. But not only that, there could be the previous family's history, and the previous, and the previous, and the previous, depending on how old the home is. So it's an accumulation of energies that have built up and have got locked into the fibers of the house. As we hold memory in our physical bodies of traumas and different situations in our own lives. The other part of it is that over the last 50 to 100 years, there have developed a lot of energy disturbances in the earth, which used to be positive lines where cathedrals were built and churches and temples. Well, many of those have become negative due to nuclear testing, due to microwaves and electromagnetics and satellites. And these days, when we sleep on these lines, they have a negative effect on us. Beyond that, we work, of course, with the different elements in the house, the water element and the fire and the earth. So all of that is taken into account.
So in a home alignment process, we really like to get clarity about what your intention is for this balance. Why would you want to have a home alignment?
A home and land alignment. It can work in two ways. Either we could have an interview with the client, establish what their intention is for this process. Very often they don't know what the intention is. The intention is revealed through the process. So it could be also that the client sends the plan of their home by mail, and we can do it long distance. One can do distant healing by having some representation of the body. Really, it's a representation of their DNA. So a simple way is having a strand of hair, or even their handwriting, which encapsulates their energy pattern. The plan is an energetic representation of the house. And so long as they have their handwriting on the plan or their hair, suddenly it becomes their house. So you can make adjustments and analyses on the plan that is a full representation of what's occurring in the house. The first thing that we do in a home alignment is place tracing paper over the plan, create a rectangle where energetically the borders are, and then divide the sides up in thirds, find the heart center. This is a very important process because each home, each space has a heart center. And what that heart center is energy, cosmic energy, coming into the house from above, as well as the main heart center. Each room has its own heart center. From that heart center, if you can imagine energy coming down, then dispersing through the home in a very particular way. We activate the heart center if it's constricted or if it's blocked, and now look at how the energy is flowing through the home. And we'll identify where the blockages are, who in the family is representing that particular blockage, what emotional issues are involved, who is bringing that blockage to focus, the husband, the wife, the son, the daughter, whatever. We have lists of emotions which we use a pendulum to identify the specific emotion or the root cause. We have circles where we place the vortex cards, connect that's an energetic pattern that is then connected right into the blockage. And how we do that, we use a connector, which is essentially a copper plate that picks up the energy from the cards with a electrical wire and a pointer that goes right into the blockage. So it's as if we're now putting that energy directly into the home where the blockage is, but through the representation, through the plan. Vortex cards are essentially magnetic plates. They're like a fridge magnet that has a very weak magnetic field. The only reason we use magnets is that the magnetic field holds the information that's changed in the plate. And how they are made is that I'm a conduit for energy that's coming from another dimension through my hands into the vortex card. And what happens is that particular card will emit a particular, very specific quantum field of energy that may be connected to water element or fire element or earth element, may release negativity, may work with the land, may work with vegetation, may work with parts of the body in that way. And then, of course, there could be the need for one or two of the family to actually undergo a body alignment process, where they come in for a treatment where they take that issue deeper. Or if it's done on one of the children that is not present, it's done long distance. The difference between working long distance on somebody and having them present, in both cases the energy is shifted. The advantage, of course, of having somebody present is that they undergo the emotional and psychological changes consciously. When we have a witness, their handwriting or hair sample, something shifts, but it's not conscious. They're not learning, they're not changing consciousness in a direct way. The next level of treatments is the treatments after the flow chart, which could be a color needing to be introduced, a water element, a fire element, an earth element, changing a bit of furniture, doing minor physical changes just to tweak the energy a little bit. Most of the benefits and side effects are a feeling of empowerment, flow, harmony in the home. Rarely, but sometimes, there can be a churning up of the energy. As it finds its new state, there will be a change in energy. They may feel self-empowered and do things that they have wanted to do for a long time, like leaving the job. So it may look negative, the results, but it's something that they have wanted or their soul has wanted to do for a long time.